Greetings everyone, I am Raye Dragonelf. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel so you're notified when I upload content. I try to get a vlog uploaded every Monday, maybe Tuesday, depending upon how things go. So today's vlog, which I'm recording on Monday, probably will get uploaded later today on Monday, if not tomorrow morning. So there's that. On my channel there is a bit of old gaming videos that I have. You can check those out if you wanted. And I also have a wide variety of content in various playlists of the YouTube creators. Feel free to check them out, see if there's anything there that interests you. So without further ado, let's get into today's vlog. So today I wanted to discuss different things that have transpired recently, but one of them I was thinking about it before I started recording today, and it would just be better off for me to not go into detail on it. A later time I will discuss it because I feel it would be very beneficial to other people that end up in a similar situation to me for them to know, but I can't right now. I literally cannot risk having a meltdown, and the more I think about that issue, which I'm trying not to as I'm thinking or as I'm telling you guys this, the more I think about it, the more wound up I get emotionally, and I'm really trying to keep myself mentally stable. Okay, so previously I have talked about having a bunion on my foot. It is very small, and it stemmed from, or it was derived from, me wearing shoes that were too narrow in the toe, and that has caused some sort of damage, I don't know what, to this particular joint connecting the big toe to the foot. It's caused damage to that. I don't know to what extent. However, I do have an appointment tomorrow, a video appointment, to discuss with a doctor about my issue and hopefully find answers to what the heck's going on. The pain originally when it first showed up in that joint, it was more, the way I'm going to be describing this might be a bit bothersome to some people, so I'll put right up in here just where you can skip forward to after I finish describing. So the first time I really noticed pain, it felt like somebody was taking a needle and jabbing it into the top of the joint. I've experienced pain on the bottom of it where it was like there was a rock embedded in the skin, and it was just so painful and hard to walk on. I know I have experienced what it felt like, the muscles and tendons of the second toe cramping up. That I don't know exactly what happens. I think it's because I've not been drinking enough water, but I have been pushing water lately and really definitely drinking a lot of water. More water than I used to. Probably the amount of water I need to be drinking. But last week, Thursday or Friday, maybe Wednesday, I don't know. I was walking around, and the pain in that joint ended up feeling like you're taking the knobby end of a chicken bone and you're grinding that against the top or against the sharp edge of a rock. That's legitimately how severe the pain ended up feeling like. I have been taking ibuprofen for it pretty much every day, all day when I can, because you need to have it in intervals or have a gap between taking them, so it's it doesn't cause adverse effects. I've been trying to ice it, and there's been times where I would ice it, and then I get up to put the ice pack away, or the cold pack as some of you would call it. I go to put it away, and I get up and my foot just feels cold, and that joint still hurts. It's extremely disconcerting. So yeah, it's been a challenge. Because I'm flat out afraid of causing more damage than what has already been done to my feet in that joint. left foot in that joint, it has this past time around since the pain resurfaced, because it did disappear for a few weeks, so that I really pushed it to the side and was more focusing on making sure I stayed mentally stable and processing the fact that, hey, now I have medical insurance again, and so then I can start getting treatment for like my mental health, which I do have. I'm digressing. I do have an appointment with my psychiatrist and my therapist all lined up. So yes, yes on that one. Okay. But back to my feet. It took me a bit to pull through, like realizing yes, I do have medical insurance now. I can get help. So I was really noting how my feet were feeling, and then that joint of my left foot was hurting more than it used to as well. However, is a lot milder than the right foot. However, because I've been limping around, using my cane some more, but I've been seriously limping and favoring my right foot, it's tweaking that joint on my left foot, and my knees have been bothering me because how wonky I've been walking, and I'm not light either, so there's all this like 208 pounds body weight on top of my feet. It's painful, and because I've been so stressed and scared of doing more damage to them, which honestly, walking like I am is probably not the best thing to be doing anyways, because it seems to be making the left foot worse and my knees worse. Well, I have to do what I have to do in order to hobble through the day right now. So it has been a serious anxiety trigger, in which like playing different games, like a Sea of Thieves, which I think the big thing with Sea of Thieves is I'm so accustomed to playing games in third person, and Sea of Thieves is in first. So it's very strange and foreign to me to be doing that. But it's just a matter of keeping at it, keep playing it, and I'll have less anxiety. I've ended up playing Phantasy Star Online 2, their new Genesis section of the game, and I had a lot of anxiety playing that, so I figured I would get to a certain point, call it quits. Which I know, like with new stuff, new things, has the potential of triggering my anxiety. So, it's just learning to be mindful of that detail and working with my anxiety to kind of just to calm down, and also say like if there's an irrational thought, countering the irrational thought is really useful for me, and stuff like that. It's a challenge. Right now I'm really focusing on keeping mentally stable and figuring out what the heck's wrong with my feet, while at the same time a little bit now and then pushing that fear of the unknown, but not too much where it overwhelms me. So yeah, there's that, and I do intend on working on a hand art drawing that I had started, which I haven't finished, which actually through me postponing working on it, I was looking for a drawing pad or a watercolored paper pad that I had, but I ended up finding some other things in the process of looking for them. Which, just a moment, let me pull out a couple from my little thingy here. I found graphite pencils. I found these in a little bin, and I've got a whole range of these ones here oh wait, I'm too close in. There we go. I have a whole range of these ones that I'll be using after I sharpen them all up, of course, because that hand art drawing that I had started, I wanted to do it in graphite pencil, but I wasn't sure where these were, and I was able to find these pencils, and eventually find the sharpener that I found I'd misplaced, which all I did was actually put it in one of my pencil pouches and put it in my rainbow rack that I have. So I ended up finding those, and I also found, I think I just dropped something in my boot that's sitting in front of my desk. I ended up finding this little notepad, which I've had for a long, is that upside down? No, it's not upside down. There we go. I've had this for 10 plus years. No, not 10 plus years. Probably close towards 11 or 12 years. That's probably how long I've had this. Which this was actually in the same little bin that my pencils were in too. So it was kind of, okay, found it. I left it in there, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And I decided that, even though I haven't started, I'm going to sketch out clothing ideas of how I want to change my style. Because I'm typically just a t-shirt, sweatshirt, and shorts. So there's kind of sketch out ideas of clothing, and also browse stores, which I have already been doing some browsing on stores, and I also found a guide on androgynous looks, so that's definitely something I will be looking into. I did end up finding, in the store I looked into, I did end up finding a dress that I really like. I highly doubt I can get it because my mom wants to help me, or she wants to be with me in order to figure out clothing, which also I don't have a job. I'm dependent on my parents for that, so it makes sense. And also she can chauffeur me around and we can go to different stores and I can look. But right now, even though I probably can't get that dress, I'm just looking at ideas. I really liked the dress. It was sleeveless, in which I've got quite a bit of fat here. Wouldn't say I'm the fittest for sure, but I was feeling very self-conscious when I was in the dress because I did try it on. However, I did really like how it had like a curve to it, and also the skirt part of the dress was very flowy. It was pleated and flowy, and that I really liked. I find that for like a dress or a skirt, for when I feel like wearing one of those, which I have been wanting to wear one, it's just I don't have one. I like the flowy kind of skirt. I really like flowiness, because it kind of like adds some character and elegance and sweetness in a sense sometimes. So that's definitely something I'm gonna be keeping in mind for like that kind of clothing. I think I have a small air bubble in there. Looking at that androgynous clothing guide, I found that they had like blazers, which would be really cool because it would add, because I've got curves to my shape, so it's like to get more of that straight line, so getting a blazer that would be more straight. Also, I've been considering getting a vest too, so that would help spice it up. I've been considering dress shirts. My mom was like, they won't fit you well, so you'd be better off with a blouse. So I'm like, kind of thinking about it as like, what do I want to get out of the clothing? Because blouses tend to be more feminine, and dress shirts tend to be more masculine in terms of like their cut and stuff. And since like I'm trying to be a little more androgynous and not have as feminine of an appearance, that like dress shirts are like more of a straight line, so that would be my benefit in that regard. However, I do not see why I couldn't own some blouses as well as dress shirts, because if I wanted to be a little more dressy and feminine wise, feminine aesthetic, it would be to my benefit to have a blouse. So it's definitely interesting trying to explore clothing styles. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. I don't, okay, so there's another thing I did want to talk about. I found out through a friend that they ended up having a GTA 5 game, and they had mods specifically in story mode. And somewhere in there, Rockstar decided that they would ban everybody who in single player had mods. Um, Simply because of all the modders that are on the online. But my friend didn't do any of that stuff online. And that was, the more I sat and thought about it, the more I just got to the point that Rockstar is too disappointing for me to really want to play. At least GTA 5, GTA Online. Uh, I don't know about the rest of their games, if like I'd be interested in playing them or not. So I've really just chosen to take a break from the game and maybe sporadically play it. But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm not interested in playing a game where these people in the higher up are sitting on their butts, not doing anything about the players that are griefing and causing severe amount of problems. Some of these modders on there are literally crashing games, and Rockstar is just telling the players that express their concerns and problems with this, and they just tell the players to go to another server. The problem is some of the stuff that the modders do, it carries over. So like you go and jump server, it's still gonna be there, and you have to literally shut down the game and then get back in, get on another online server, and hope that there isn't a modder on there, and then hope a modder never shows up. And that's like, it shouldn't have to happen. So they're not worried about these modders, but they're worried about players in the story mode specifically being modders. So they ban them, and yeah, I don't know when I will be playing that game again. If I have any stories of that to share with all of you, it's probably what I heard from like family and friends. So that's that. I think yeah, I'll end this on a lighter note. One of the last times I was playing Sea of Thieves. I ended up coming across the shark. That was after I ended up figuring out the tutorial. I had to go through that. I saw the shark, and when I first heard it like roar, I jumped out of my skin and I cursed. And I don't know what my dad was doing, but I was almost concerned that if he was laying down, I would have disturbed him. But I ended up croaking on that one too. Then my daddy ended up being in the same room as me while I was sailing, and all of a sudden we hear this roar, and all of a sudden I'm in a panic. I know what's coming. And my dad was like, "What was that?" What was that? And I explained to him it was a shark, which I don't. I think you can outrun them if you're sailing away from them. I think you can do that, but if, like, say you stop to fight it, if you don't have, I think it's a lot easier if you have like two people, because I was having a hell of a time remembering that I need to make sure I patch the hole and empty out all the water in the hole, and also fight the shark. There was 3 things I had to be doing there, and it was extremely challenging to do on my own. I'm sure I could get better at it if I kept going at it. It's just a matter of pushing past my anxiety that I mentioned earlier to actually playing the game a bit here and there. So that, I would definitely like to play it some more. So I'll be doing that. Oh, sorry. In my little white drawers that I've got my phone sitting on, I noticed that there was this bit of a drawing in the drawer below because I pulled out the top one to pull out my pencils to show you. I got distracted by the little art piece I did on that piece of paper in there. In regards to my pencils and finishing that art piece, which I forgot to mention this already, I need to play around with my pencils and get a feel for them because it's been years since I last used them. I have no idea how long it's really been, but it's been 11 plus years probably, or thereabouts. I don't know for sure. So I would be playing around with those and also doing some research on like how to color with them. So I'm not sure when I'll get that drawing done. It looks really cool as a sketch, but I want to do more to it. However, that triggers anxiety because I don't know how to do it and I don't know how soon I can get it done. So that, because of how much it is like a trigger for my anxiety, I'm gonna definitely take my time on getting that one done. However, I'm gonna be working with myself mentally in order to push myself to actually get it done over time. So yeah. Yeah, okay. So that's it that for my recording of today's vlog or tomorrow's vlog whenever I get this uploaded. Up there you can find my channel, you can check it out and all that. And over there is my vlog playlist, you can check that out as well. So I will see you all in the next vlog. I will try to push myself to get more content of art and otherwise uploaded when I can. So everybody take care. Ad Astra.